name is Courtney Autumn Yazzie. I suffered with a mucus borderline tumor. It's a tumor that affects my ovaries. I had 2 growing inside of me back in September of 2022. And yeah.
Starting with the questions, how has the diagnosis of the tumor affected your daily life?
So it affected my daily life with reasons on I can't have kids. I can't have kids naturally. So that plays a big part in a female lifestyle, because every little girl dreams of having a family of their own, and I can't do that. I have to go and pay someone for me to have kids, and that's a lot. It's hard on a woman, and I have to watch my menstrual cycle, like key points every single month. I have to watch what I eat. I have to make sure I'm not gaining too much weight so quickly. Just having those effects where it's always a what if. Like if I gain 5 pounds within a month, that kind of always brings me to question, is it growing, is it coming back? Or with me having irregular menstrual, that always causes something too. So there's always that what if in the back of my mind.
Thank you. Next question is, what circumstances led to the diagnosis of your meniscus tumor?
The circumstances, back in September of 2022, I woke up one morning and I was completely like yellow, like I got jaundice. Jaundice is when you have liver cirrhosis is what they call it with that. So I went to the ER back then, and I could barely like breathe on my own. I could barely lay on my back because it hurt so bad. I couldn't drive for long periods of times because my lower back would hurt and stuff like that. But yeah, is that the question?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So what treatment options were presented to you?
So how severe the tumor was, it was pretty big. Ian has the pictures of how big they were, and the only thing was to take it out. I had to undergo surgery and get it removed from my body, and it was scary because I didn't know if it was cancerous or if it was non-cancerous, which is benign, and that was always the scary part of it. And yeah.
Thank you. And did you encounter any complications regarding the treatment?
Yes, like I said, I had lower back pain. I couldn't sit for a long period of time. I couldn't lay on my stomach. I couldn't lay on my back because it would be trouble. Like I would have trouble breathing because the tumor of how severe it was just like pressing my organs up. Like I was pregnant, but I wasn't. And that had a lot of side effects. I was constipated a lot. I had irregular menstrual periods. I lost a lot of weight, but in my general stomach region, it looked like I was pregnant. Like it was really hard and really stiff, and it just didn't feel like, fat. It felt something like it was wrong. But I never knew I had a tumor growing inside of me. I always just thought I was getting chubby or I had bad eating habits and stuff like that. So that was always something that I never took into consideration with that. And I just had lower back pain. But like I said, I just thought I was gaining weight. And I just never thought I had a tumor growing inside of me.
Thank you. With all your circumstances, how are you currently dealing with it?
It's hard some days. Like I said, it's always that what if in the back of your head, and I am from the Navajo reservation, so there's a term that they use. It's called yiya, like don't talk like that, don't wish stuff upon you. But I live in like, I don't want to be rude, but I live like in the white man generation, where I think there's always a what if that comes into play, and with everything in like modern medicine and stuff like that, that always tries to get the best of me. And with my grandmother being very traditional, she always just tells me like, yeah, don't wish that upon yourself, let it go, it's in the past. Just continue to think positive about yourself and that everything is going to be okay. And there's always just two sides of it. And with me, I do struggle with that. I am constantly always thinking about it. Or some days I'm not, some days I am. And when I found out that I couldn't have kids naturally, that broke my heart. I've always wanted a big family. I've always wanted my own kids and see my kids run around and stuff like that. So now it hurts that it's a challenge for me when there's some people out there who can instantly have kids. And it hurts me sometimes to see someone pregnant, because that could be me, but it's not. And it hurts sometimes. Sometimes I kind of just sit there and I think about, why me? Why did this happen to me? Why couldn't it be someone else? And I thought about that for the longest time, because it hurts. A girl never thinks that she's gonna grow something on her ovaries or her fallopian tubes and get those removed. And it hurt me for the longest time. It hurt me to be around little kids, because I knew I couldn't have that. And sometimes I think about it, still hurts. I don't know why I'm crying, I'm sorry. But I feel like that's something that I will suffer for a little bit. I continue to suffer with it. But I know, like I said, going back to my Navajo traditional ways, I know everything's going to be okay. I know one day I'll have kids, and that's what I pray for. And I know I have a little baby growing inside me one day, because that's what I want. And I just have to leave it up to, the Lord. And we say Diindene in Navajo, that's what we believe in. And I'm going to continue just to believe in them every day and let them know. And they know, I'm hurting, but I just have to continue to be strong every single day.
Challenging journey.
Mm-hmm.
What if someone in your shoes, what advice would you give them with dealing with the tumor?
Get help as soon as possible. Even if you have like constipation, or you start having lower back pain, or you feel like your stomach getting a little hard, or you are out of breath or winded, get checked. With me being a female, we get yearly the yearly woman check. Please go to your women's clinic, get that done every year. Do pap smears, do the ultrasounds that women's clinic provides. Take that very seriously, because I didn't. I know you have to start when you're 21, so please start when you're young, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what something, I didn't know. The doctors told me that I could have had it ever since I was in high school, or I could have had it when I was in middle school. I never knew about it. So just get checked, do your yearly woman exams. If you have, constipation or irregular periods, get your hormones checked. That's always something that us women should really take serious. Your body is very sacred, and that's something that it's all preventable if you just continue to go to women's clinic. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What has been the most challenging part of your journey with dealing with the tumor?
I think it just goes back to what I said about having kids. That's probably the most challenging. it goes back to watching my weight. So I'll do a little backstory. My tumor was 60 pounds. It was pretty big. So there was a big one, and Ian has pictures of them. There was a big one that was pushing up my liver and my kidneys and I was pregnant basically. My small intestines, everything was just getting pushed up, and then a smaller one was growing. So all that had like effects on me. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. What else? I couldn't do the ultrasound. They had me like laying on my back for the longest time, and they were pressing on my stomach. And when you do ultrasound, they do like a gel, and they press and move around the sonogram or whatever it's called. And I couldn't do that. I was so out of breath. I was like in pain. I was crying. I told her I can't. I gotta get up. And so finally they did a CAT scan, and they injected the blue dye in me, and that's when I found that they found out what was going on and what was wrong. And constantly the hospital that I went to, and it was in Sackatoon, I went to HHK in Sackatoon, Arizona, and that's where they diagnosed me, and they just told me that, you know, they showed me pictures of it. I couldn't believe it. I got transferred to Abrazo Hospital out in Surprise, and that's where my gynecologist he wasn't my gynecologist, it was just the emergency gynecologist that was on call. He took it out for me. Ian has pictures of my scarring. They did a robot surgery on me, so I don't have any like major cuts in my stomach. I just have little tiny cuts. Gynecologist told my mom and my sister and my fiance, or my boyfriend at the time, he's now my fiance, that the surgery was going to take about an hour and 30 minutes tops just to get everything out. But from what my mom and my sister and my boyfriend at the time told me, or my fiance now, actually I should say that, my fiance now, the surgery took 7 hours to get all that out of my body, and they pumped with the muculus borderline tumor. It's all just kind of like liquid buildup. It's kind of like a balloon, like how it was, and you put water, like a water balloon, and all that liquid was just full of gunk. I don't know what it was, but they filled up 11 liters, like those soda liters, 11 of them in the hospital surgery room, and all those equivalated to 60 pounds, and the smaller one was like 10 pounds, and that was like 2 liters. So altogether it was like 13 liters of those like big soda bottles. Imagine that in my body. It was crazy, but yeah.
So what information was given to you about the tumor when you were first diagnosed?
They just said that, like I said, it all goes back to a women's clinic. It just maybe your genetics, if your mom or your grandmother suffers from cysts, or it's basically what I had was just a big cyst, but it turned into a tumor with how big it is. So a lot of women, they deal with cysts on their ovaries. It is preventable. Like I said, go to women's clinic, you'll learn all about it. But they just told me that they get checked every 6 months, do blood work, and get x-rays. So that's what I continue to do, just to make sure everything is just remaining the same. You don't really know that until you get checked, so yeah.